As we detailed on this most recent Zombie Dead Last, Train to Busan is one of the greatest zombie films of all time, and it did quite well when it came out. So of course it didn't stay at one movie. And even though it only came out in 2016, we're looking at an actual timeline here. So let's take a look here and see if this saga has a coherent timeline, or if figuring this out will have me in as many tears as the film itself. This train leaves the station in Korea with 2016's Train to Busan. It starts with a chemical leak that affects the local wildlife, and we meet Suk-woo, a banking guy, money thing businessman, and he's a bit of a dick. He's going through a divorce and basically ignoring his daughter Suan, so she wants to go back with her mother. He agrees to take her on a train to, guess where the train goes to. So she's really brokenhearted because she had a recital he missed, and because he wasn't there, she didn't sing. Everyone boards, including a ball team, a cranky old couple of ladies, but strange things seem afoot at the station. A homeless man is stowed away, and there's this dick businessman. This dick businessman. Dick business. A girl who was bit is on the train, who eventually turns and bites one of the attendants. She also changes almost immediately, and these zombies are quite fast, and it starts spreading rapidly. Things go south really quickly, and there's also this big bruiser of a guy with his pregnant wife who Suk-woo almost closes out to their deaths. There's a portion of a magazine showing right here dated May of 2015, so we might be in 15, but this could also be a little older magazine, but I think that these are supposed to be issued by the train, so I'm gonna say that that's our date. And the train is not stopping at the next station since it's too late there. From this shot of a phone, it looks like it's May 24th, and the next station is supposed to be safe and have military waiting for them. But it's already too late there as well. Sang-hwa has the chance to return the favor and lock out Seok-woo, but doesn't, and the core group manage to get back to the train and head to Busan. But they all get split up. They have to try to get through several cars, fighting their way through, and they learn that while they go through the tunnels, the zombies are confused and easily distracted in darkness. They reunite with their loved ones and make their way forward, but of course, dick business messes things up, and Sang-hwa is bitten, heroically sacrificing himself, and the crew force their way into the front. The others don't trust them and lock them away, causing the old lady to let the dead in, leaving only the small group left. There's a blockage on the tracks, so they have to stop, and old DB survived, and there's a crash, and in the chaos that ensues, baseball guy and girl are killed, as is the conductor. The homeless man sacrifices himself to save the others, and Seok, Suan, and Seong-kyung just barely escape to the other train. Unfortunately, good old dick business is here, now infected, and he bites Seok, who then tosses him from the train. He says goodbye to his daughter, remembering her birth, as he throws himself from the train. Finally, they reach a blockade at a tunnel and are about to be picked off by a sniper until they hear Suan singing for her father. Just give me a second. Okay. The same year, an animated prequel / side tale was released called Seoul Station. It begins with a man who is already bitten and introduces us to Hae-sun, who lives with her boyfriend, and they're having money troubles, and he's actually willing to pimp her out, which helps her estranged father find her. The old man turns and starts attacking, and Dad finds Son's apartment just as the infection makes it there. There's a calendar up on the wall here, but it says it's July, and the days of the week don't really match up with anything outside of 2012, so it's probably an old calendar. Maybe he just likes the picture. The outbreak spreads quickly and Dad and Ki-woong team up to find Sun. Meanwhile, she ends up paired with an older guy who helps her escape a couple of dangerous situations as they make their way into the subway station, and they try to get out of town, but the police are trying to keep everyone quarantined. Ki and Suk are on the other side of the blockade, which loses its line of defense as the undead pile through. The old man is shot by the police, with Sun narrowly escaping, although she's scratched on the foot, and she keeps on having to navigate these situations that put her in high places with zombies right behind. Hai-sun and Ki-woong are reunited, but it turns out that Sakyu is not her father after all, but he was her pimp, and he wants her back. He kills Ki and beats up Hai-sun, but she dies, and because of the scratch. She reanimates and kills him. So, since this takes place immediately before Train to Busan, and as the morning breaks, Seok-woo would be prepping to take his daughter to the station, ignore that calendar, and this is also in May, presumably May of 2015. 4 years later, in 2020, a sequel was released entitled Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. It begins at the onset of the events with a soldier taking his family to a safe ship, and a news show about the outbreak shows a date of May 2016, and there's multiple cameras, so it looks like the first film and Seoul Station both actually took place in 2016, and that magazine date is just incorrect. It was just a magazine that they had. It was the standard issue. These survivors were supposed to be going to Japan, but they're rerouted to Hong Kong, but someone there is infected and it starts to spread, getting little Dong-hwan. And look, I do not know anything about guns, like next to nothing, but I'm pretty sure that handguns don't hold like 16 bullets, which is how many times Young-seok shoots here without reloading. We're then told that 4 years have passed, bringing us to real-time 2020. Young is now in Hong Kong, as is his in-brother Chul-min, and we find out that Korea is just completely blocked off and the zombies are contained, and the boys are recruited by a mobster to go in and find a truck containing $20 million. And all they have to do is go in and retrieve it, having to go through an army of the dead. They head in at nighttime knowing that the zombies are useless in the dark, and they manage to find the truck with relative ease, but then attract a swarm, and someone fires flares at them to draw their attention. Young Seok is rescued by two very young girls in a car who utilize a lit-up remote control car to draw their attention, and it turns out that Chul-min also survived in the truck, which is taken in by a rogue militia group, who are actually unaware of the money in the back. Young is taken in by the girls and their mother and grandfather, while Chul is forced to compete in an arena where zombies are released and attack, and he has to last 60 seconds. Young and the crew decide to go retrieve the truck and escape, but the malicious captain also knows and wants to steal it for himself. They head in and Young-seok rescues Chul-min, but he's unfortunately killed shortly after. They get the truck and the militia gives a Mad Max style chase, and I mean like very Mad Max-like, and the militia gets wiped out. But the captain survived and wants them to take him with them, taking Yu-jin hostage, killing Grandpa and stealing the truck. But he's then double-crossed and shot. As he dies, he manages to let the zombies in who kill the mobsters, and meanwhile, the girls flag down a UN helicopter with Min-jung staying behind to distract the zombies. As she prepares to kill herself, Juk covers her and she makes it out alive, and everyone gets on the helicopter to escape. So there you have it. It's 3 movies that actually have a pretty solid timeline. It makes sense, except for one magazine date. Whatever, it's a magazine date that's shown for like literally a second. Not a big deal. The first 2 movies take place in the same day, basically. The first movie taking place in the nighttime, and then Train to Busan taking place the following morning, and of course, Peninsula taking place 4 years later. Each of these movies can be watched on their own. They're all self-contained stories set within the same universe. They don't feature any recurring characters in any of them or recurring storylines outside of the zombie outbreak. Little tidbits about the zombies can be found out in each of the stories, but beyond that, you could watch any one of these. And honestly, Train to Busan is the standout. It is such a fantastic movie, and it's great. And the other two are enjoyable watches, but don't really live up to the standards that it set. But they're good movies. I enjoyed watching them, but after Train, it's kind of it's a hard act to follow. Let me know if you've seen these and if you love them as much as I do. Put it down in the comments below. I want to hear what you thought about these. And also, if you enjoyed this video, click on that like button. If you're liking what you're seeing on the channel, please hit the subscribe button and also share it out to your friends. And if you get the chance, go to patreon.com/movietimelines and help keep this channel going. These guys do, and I thank them for it, but I also just thank you guys for watching the channel as well, and we will see you very shortly for another great No Zombie video. Thanks a lot, guys, and bye-bye.